everyone, it's DucatiBiker. I'm here with my videographer, Nara Media. We're here in beautiful Go AZ Peoria. I want to ask you, how did you, what got you into doing videography or like in the motorcycle community? Because I know you were already riding before you had your bike.
Yeah, so I did my MSF course back when I lived in Colorado, but I didn't get a bike because I didn't feel like it was really worth it because it snowed and rained. The weather was terrible most of the year. Yeah. So I was like, I can't financially really sustain or validate me owning a motorcycle in Colorado to only ride like 2-3 months out of the year.
This is Denver, right? Or
yeah, in Denver.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I know how that is.
So anyways, I took my MSF course and then I graduated college, and then the day after that I moved to Arizona, and then I started riding.
There you go. Or you started riding in Arizona?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so I started riding in Arizona. I had a Grom. I started off on a Grom, and then at the same time I picked up my camera again, and and since I was already in the motorcycle community, I decided, I started shooting people. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. I started shooting people. Yeah, that's okay. Videography, shooting. Yeah.
So I started filming. I started filming people in the drag scene first. So road racing.
Yeah, cars. So you got in the car scene first.
No, actually, motorcycle drag racing.
Oh, motorcycle drag racing.
Yeah. So street street.
Yeah, it's like a whole nother level.
Yeah. So
street
like underground.
Racing,
so underground drag racing.
Underground drag racing.
So
what do you mean underground? You mean like illegal Fast and Furious, like red light, stoplight stuff? Really? Not like at a drag circuit? So you would show up to like back roads in Phoenix and do illegal motorcycle drag racing stuff?
So,
oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's where I started. It was underground stuff, and then I started branching out and shooting. Like I showed up to a track day. That's where I met Chris, and we started shooting out at Tortilla Flats, TTF, and I was like, this is awesome. Yeah, so we started shooting that, and then I met all the fast guys, and then I met Roland, who's the VP of the Ducati Phoenix Club.
That's right.
And he's like, oh, you're pretty good. So we started shooting stuff. Oh yeah, Princess Scottsdale. Yeah, so we started shooting, and then I was primarily only doing photos at that point.
Yeah.
So
I mean, everyone was at the time. It was just like videography. First was photography. Everyone was taking photos, Instagram was just photos, and now it turned into video. So now you have to like evolve into that. So
it was more like, at first I was like, I don't want to do video because that's a lot of work and extra gear and everything. But then people kept on asking. I was like, do you do video? Do you do video? Do you do video? Yeah. So I was like, and I guess now I have to learn to do video out of necessity for what people want.
Yeah. So just curious, like when you do a shoot, whether it's motorcycles or not, is it mostly video or photos nowadays?
Nowadays, I'd say it's like 95% video, 5% photo. I take the 5% photos so that I can get a couple still shots to put into the videos or
like thumbnails for a website and stuff like that. Yeah,
so
but you like
thumbnails for
you rarely
website.
have like a specific photo shoot unless it's like a
unless it's scheduled.
Like that, strictly photo shoot.
Yeah.
Wow. It's crazy how that's changed, and everything you've had to do to like evolve to get all the right camera equipment and the gimbals and stuff like that to get the rolling shots. It's changed a lot rapidly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been.
So you met Roland on Tortilla Flats, and then is that how you got into like the Ducati community? Because at that point you were riding. You had your bike.
I had a Honda CBR 600. Right. Yeah. And I was riding. I was in group rides, and I. At that point, at the point where I met Roland, I'd already kind of, I had my name out in the valley wide, so it was actually not too bad, and I was like, I kind of have a footing and everything, and then I was also doing some social media, just kind of GoPro helmet cam stuff.
I remember seeing your content and stuff like that when I was in Europe before coming here, even before Charles's.
Oh yeah.
You were doing you had more of a presence out here growing. It was like you and a TXP Media or something like that. Those guys out there. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was, but then and then I started shooting, and then went from drag to stunt. So I started filming stunt bikes.
Yeah, stunt bikes.
And that was cool. I go to Tucson every couple months, and they do a hood ride big old Tucson hood ride.
Yeah, right.
And you know, there's like.
But they'll just like stunt down the street though, right? They'll just straight up like, you take up the sidewalk and stuff like that.
It's like 100 of us. 100 people. I'm in a truck.
Fuck a pigeonhole. I'm a night owl. It's a different mode. I'ma have to make a paint of 6 on a
100 deep.
Yeah.
And we got quads, we got dirt bikes, we got street bikes, and I'm just like, all right, no, everyone kind of go, okay, don't do anything too crazy. Y'all are crazy, but. It was really fun.
I guess that scene's everywhere because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos like that, but it was like the 12 o'clock boys like on the East Coast and stuff like that. But I didn't know that there was like a stunt presence.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's everywhere, but like a big online stunt presence here in Arizona.
Yeah, we have beautiful weather, so everyone's riding all the time. So
that's so cool.
But then from there, it just kind of
escalated. So what makes you want to be a part of the Ducati Phoenix community? I mean, obviously soon you'll have your Ducati soon. We'll get you on a bike soon. You'll be riding because obviously the work you do right now is just documenting everything we do within Arizona with Ducati. But like just hearing off your experience, the stunting, Colorado, the drag bikes, and also everything else that you do. What made you want to like give your free time and support to Ducati Phoenix Ducati?
I think that a lot of it was the culture. It's how close everyone was.
Yeah, people.
Everyone's really close, and everyone's so very kind, and they're like, "Hey, It's like you need anything, or
it's like a family.
Yeah,
it's like
a very familia.
Yeah, familia. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a close friendship thing. Do you think that's due to the brand Ducati or just the club? Because you've been in different clubs,
so I think. It is in part to Ducati because with Ducati, it's that brand Ducati.
Yeah. So Ducati motorcycles ties us together, and it brings the right people in the community together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it's like a niche. It's more of a niche culture. Yeah. So other groups I've been with, it's like, oh, we got a Honda here, we got a Suzuki there, you got a Aprilia over there, and.
Which is fine. Mixed riders groups, there's like Thursday night bike rides, stuff like that. Everyone meets up and shares the passion of riding motorcycles.
Yeah. But Ducati, it's like we have one common passion.
We ride as one. Yeah, that was their thing. That was their slogan at World Bike Week: is we all ride as one. And it's still like something that carries. I think I represent it as well. I think we're all Ducati bikers. We ride together, but. So you find that like the fact that Ducati attracts the right members to create that core family group. Exactly. And everyone wants to be a part of that. Cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's funny. I've noticed that a little bit too. But having traveled a little bit, and I've gone to Europe, and I haven't been to all or visited any other Ducati official clubs all over the world. But having come back and have participated with the Ducati official club here in Arizona. The community, but also the organization, how we strategize our group meets and rides and stuff like that it's nothing like I've ever seen before. Like I've planned different things in the Netherlands, I've done different things in France and Switzerland, but how the president and vice president and also everyone who's involved in the group here are organized, and how we like to do events, and we incorporate even not just our riders, but like restaurants, local riders who have restaurants and smoothie bars, and now there's like Shift Caffeine and there's different things like that. It's nothing I've ever seen before, and I get surprised because I'm like,
you've been around, man.
But it's also it's like what to make of it. But I think we're like a staple and a big example for a Ducati community and like worldwide. Yeah. But then again it changes because I've seen there's like Happy Motard Malaysia or like the DOC of Malaysia, and I'm not sure if you saw like last year those guys were like 300 Panigales deep.
Yeah, I did see those videos.
Down the
I was
freeway.
like, I saw that and I was like, when are we gonna do that?
I know. So it's interesting because you see like what we do on the United States, which I think is great. I mean, all the support we do, trying to involve all the other DRE, DOC communities, and what we do in Arizona is great. But when you see, obviously it's different. That's like on the other part of the world. Malaysia's Malaysia. We don't even speak the same language or have the same thing. But I'm curious if they have the same connection and also family vibes due to Ducati. for them to be driving like 400 Panigales down the road, falling obviously it was for the MotoGP, so there's promotion, but you saw like Pecco Bagnaia, Jack Miller, and Lamborghinis, and then behind them there was it was only like Panigales, or maybe they had first 200 Panigales in the front, and the rest of the Ducatis were in the back. But I feel and see different versions of groups like that, and I like obviously the more the better. I don't know how you were supposed to ride in a group of 200 Panigales down the road or stuff like that. But
my God.
Obviously they were going to the MotoGP race and stuff like that, which I think is going to be cool for us this year because there's going to be the Circuit de Americas, the MotoGP in Austin, which I think you and I are both going to.
Yes.
And I think that's going to be really cool for us both to see because I haven't. Did you go last year?
I didn't go last year either.
Yeah.
So
this would be new for you and I both. And
I haven't been to Texas either, so it'll be my first time in Texas.
I've been to Texas like once, but I mean, I think the main reason to go there would be for Circuit de Americas. But again, Ducati will make such a strong presence. Like obviously MotoGP's for all racing categories and manufacturers, but when you go to a MotoGP event, it's like Ducati has the biggest presence there. They have like the Ducati Island, they have the tents, they have the facilities, they bring like their press bikes, they'll have pro athletes even show up to be at the event and document the whole the racing and stuff like that. It's a question I get asked a lot, being in the motorcycle niche or world, like why Ducati?
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to the question why I just asked you, why did you join the Phoenix Ducati official club and group? And for me, it was the same thing. At first, we get attracted just to Ducati motorcycles themselves, being Italian, the beautiful art, the design, the sharp lines and edges, and obviously the motor, the history behind the brand, and the fact that it's not, like you said, it's niched. It's not, they're not building pianos or refrigerators or ski-doos or jet skis or ATVs and stuff like that, which is good and what we like. But, God, where was I going with that? Totally forgot. Oh, the reason why I like to call it spreading the love and joy of riding Ducati motorcycles, which makes us all Ducati bikers and which makes us want to go to these different events, is because you have those niche people and those enthusiasts that only care to that one brand and not the microwave or the jet ski or whatever stuff like that, which I think is funny. And it's funny because having been in I would say deep in the Ducati online or social media scene for the past 10 years, most of the most important people I've met in my life are within or from a Ducati group. Yeah. And they've changed my life just due to the fact that I went on a group ride anywhere and I met those people, collaborate with them, exchange emails, and now I have connections all over the world for people who want to either help me, collaborate with me, or be part of growing their own group in that region. Yeah. And it's I met you through it. Yeah. Yeah. Now we're both sitting here talking.
And now we're here.
Yeah, now we're here talking on a little podcast. But it's interesting. That's how I met Roland, how I met Michael, how I met Charles. And it wasn't like that a few years back. The Ducati official club was run differently. I know Anthony has always been a part of it, but then there was someone named Dan, or was it?
I really don't know.
I don't think we were here at that time.
We weren't here at that time.
Yeah, because when I was riding, when I had my 848 from Go Easy Motorcycles and 899 Panigale, I was always riding around here in my 20s, but I never was informed of the group, or it wasn't as active as it was as soon as I think Roland and Anthony really started taking over it. Yeah,
and they've done a phenomenal job in organizing stuff.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, that's why the presence and the attraction is I think they're for a club and a group, they have a huge online presence, obviously due to the work that we do for them, and obviously you being an official videographer, photographer for a group. I don't. It's not that I don't see or know that other groups have that. Maybe they just call their friend or their buddy that comes. But you consistently being there to show what the Ducati official club does is huge. And you've been recognized for it too, and you love it too.
Fun.
Exactly, it's part of the passion. Yeah, it's sharing the love and joy of Ducati motorcycles, bro. It's so cool.
And it's a passion to me. So I'm when I come out, I'm like, I went to bed at 3 a.m., but guess what? I'm still here.
Yeah, right? Still riding, bro. I see all those things, those memes you post on your page about you staying up and working, and it's really impressive. And it's good, bro. It's good. Yeah. A question: how would you like to see the club grow?
I mean, we had to talk about creating a stock merch for that everyone can buy.
International scene,
like a Ducati Phoenix. Yeah. National merch line.
Page,
or page and line, and that'd be cool, you know, because I know like there's people all the way in New York or in California, and they're like, hey, these guys do cool stuff. Let's support them.
Yeah.
And be like, or people that come to visit, and you know, like if you go to Las Vegas, you're gonna pick up like a little souvenir from Phoenix.
Of course, yeah.
Or Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So now when you come to Phoenix, be like, I was like, oh, I participated with an event they put together.
Yeah.
Let me get a shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's important for you too, because you display that image. Like, yes, there's a logo, but you are now like responsible for portraying that image and for people to see it. So whatever you edit and collaborate with me or Ducati Phoenix to create that image for people to want to be part of the brand. Like some people might join Ducati motorcycles because of the Ducati Phoenix official club.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're trying to go with it as well. And to incorporate that and to just bring nicer people and family into riding motorcycles.
Exactly.
And again, behind that, all that too, and being part of the club and riding fancy Italian motorcycles is also, I wouldn't say not being a hooligan, but having like a good ride etiquette and like education to where you know how to properly ride with the group and not create conflict or accidents with riders and stuff like that, which I think they've done a really good job here as well. With all the people we've had, you know, I've ridden in group rides with you know, like last year we did the Josh Heron event, and there were I don't know.
Touch the sky, but you ain't got shit on me.
It was beautiful.
Cause I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world.
And organized, so we were able to all get home safely.
I can't wait for this next month's event.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think it's exciting it's exciting as a group to have that presence to invite to do different things with like a race team like Josh Heron and Warhorse and you know, people like that over in New York, and then bring the East Coast to the West Coast and stuff like that too. And I think what we're doing is bigger.
Yes.
Yeah, it's way bigger.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but overall, I think it would be so cool, and this is just an idea, and we're just brainstorming, I'm just shooting this out. I think, how cool would it be if we created such a big presence like how we're already doing online, to the point where we were able to where we were able to not only just have a group and a club and a facility like this to talk at, but our own flagship store.
You know what?
Is that what's missing, bro?
I've heard this.
Is that what's missing, bro, in this place?
If we could have a flagship store in Arizona, that would be huge.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
And why do you think it would be big? Like, what do you think is missing? Not that we have any problems with GoAZ and we love these guys, but just since our community is almost bigger than their actual dealership and their group rides that we put on, I think our group rides in the Ducati official club has more events and more people gathering than one of their own dealership rides, which is fine. But what do you think would be beneficial in having our own flagship dealership?
You know, so I've heard multiple people say, oh, I got to go to the Newport Beach
in California. We've been there. Yeah, I've had to go there myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like we have to go out there to pick up a motorcycle, or they have to go out of state somewhere else to another dealer flagship and try and pick up the new 2023 or a new Ducati. But if we had one here, and considering the size of our community, it'd be a lot easier to just pick it up where we are.
Yeah.
And also, it would be really great, because then it would be a great space for all of us to
for the
come
community
together
and everything
and
we're
be
doing like that.
Hey,
yeah.
meet up at the flagship. Okay.
Yeah, for the official club and the group and stuff like that. But so obviously having our own store would be great. But like you said, you're saying we have local people leaving out of state Arizona to go buy bikes in other areas. And that's so funny, because I just met someone at Vicky's evening the other night when we went there. David Latterman, I believe his name, and he ordered a brand new SP2 and had them put all the parts and everything up at Motocorsa in Oregon. Yeah. And just because he knew the people, the community, the style, and the flagship dealership. Exactly. And I think a lot of people, regardless, like you said, just you point out, regardless of the motorcycle, they want to be part of a dealership in the community. And that's why I asked you, because I think I could even say this for everyone, we all feel like there's a little bit of lacking in terms of that dealership community, but also since we're niche, we don't want to be a part of KTM and Honda and Husqvarna and deal with those other people and clients and stuff like that. Like when I walk in a dealership, I want to talk to the person who only talks about Ducati, the gear, the apparel, and nothing else. Like I don't, doesn't bother me to hear about Goldwing stories or, GS stories, stuff like that. We've all done that. And that's why I want to ask you, because you're always running around filming and talking to people. Yeah. And obviously, I think we know the legalities of why we can and can't have a flagship dealership yet. Yeah. But again, coming back to what I said, how cool would it be if this group could have the influence to where we could actually ask Ducati North America or a different dealership to get the license, to where we could actually be the first group in all of North America to have created a flagship dealership store. To where we'd have people from Utah, New Mexico, Colorado, and California come to Arizona now to buy Ducati motorcycles, to ride with us, to be part of the community, and then go back to their state.
Exactly. And it'd be a little more convenient. It'd be like, hey, you want to drive 6 hours to go get a flagship, to get a bike? Or you want to go 13, 16, 24 hours?
I know. Yeah. But then again, some of those guys with the money, they'll get it shipped, they'll get it paid, they don't care. But I think it means more to them.
I want to be able to see it, feel it,
touch it, and also when you go there to have nice people who are enthused about you even buying a bike there, and then also having like a videographer like you to make a little clip to send him of him picking up his bike, a congratulations video. Whether you give him the content or not, it'll still be uploaded on the Ducati official page, on the page of the dealership, and also like Ducati USA if they even wanted to, and like that's that. I think that's how I see the Ducati official club going. Like in that direction. Like if you were to ask me like, hey, how do you see it going? I'm like, dude, we're only building a bigger presence. We're only getting more brand awareness. But our group of riders buy bikes out of state.
Yes. Yes, they do.
And that's weird.
But it is
we
what
know
it
why.
is.
We don't have to keep going into it, being
It is
the
what it
dealership
is.
that we're in. And I think and again, it has to do a lot with the staff and community. Like as we know, the people at Newport Beach, there's Sadie and
shout out to Sadie.
Shout out to Sadie. See, that's just like the first thing you say. Like the first thing you think of Newport Beach is like the female figure, Sadie and her dog and stuff like that. And we got Dan and everyone else and Mike and all that team over there. But like when I hear, see, or talk about the dealership, it's the people.
You have a face.
There's a face.
People.
There's a connection. There's the people there before anything else. And then those people in that community, I feel safe with my bike being there in service and everything else and stuff like that. And again, they have the great, the Orange County official club with Gustavo and stuff like that. And so it ties in a lot. What you just said about why you joined the Ducati Phoenix community because of the family / why it's important to have that family in a dealership / that's the reason why people buy their bikes. That's almost in a sense our job.
Yeah.
And this conversation could be cut and then we could go into the social media and